children all over the world are having to navigate this new normal we've been thrown into. Learning and education has never looked or felt more different. And the recent and unprecedented changes have resulted in feelings of worry, anxiety, and overwhelm with many of our children and young people, and continues to influence them now as they transition back to life at school. My name is Natalie Costa. I'm an award-winning coach, author, and the founder of Power Thoughts, which is a coaching service I designed to help children tap into the power of their own thoughts, to help them recognize that they don't have to believe every thought they think or respond to everything they feel, and ultimately giving them the tools to help them manage their mindset so that they feel calmer, happier, and more confident within themselves. Now, today I'm really excited to be sharing some strategies with schools that teachers and staff can use and implement to support the well-being of children as they transition back to life at school, specifically looking at what we can do to ensure that children feel safe, connected, supported, and emotionally ready to learn. Now, one of the first things that I always encourage teachers, parents, and clients to use is to allow the space for children to explore and talk about their feelings. Coming back to school will be a different experience for all children because they've all had different experiences over the last few months. Some children might easily be able to talk about their feelings, so allowing the space for them to explore and perhaps also talk about some of those more uncomfortable feelings that arise, knowing that it's okay to experience the feelings that they feel. For other children, however, they might have more of a tricky time when it comes to opening up. So stories, role-play, games are all really useful strategies to help children begin to open up and explore some of the feelings that they feel. Now, I often encourage clients to create feeling characters and to begin to almost go on a scavenger hunt where they recognize and begin to take note of some of the feelings that they feel, giving it a name, a color, a shape, and perhaps even get really creative with this and get children to create their own pizza character feelings, each one depicting a different feeling. What this helps do is, first of all, it helps children to widen their understanding of the different emotions that we have, but it also allows them to personify their feelings so that they recognize that they are not their feelings. They feel their feelings, but they are not their feelings. Something else that's also really helpful is helping children to understand that our feelings come and our feelings go. So often, particularly when we might feel more of those bigger or uncomfortable feelings, in that moment, we can almost feel as if we're stuck with that feeling. But helping children to identify and to recognize that their feelings are almost like the weather, creating almost like, I'd say, an internal weather report to recognize what are some of the feelings that I feel throughout the day, and then drawing pictures of that or writing it down. And at the end of the day, reflecting all the different types of feelings that I felt is a really great strategy to help them again recognize that they are not their feelings, and also that their feelings come and their feelings go. Something else that's also really helpful is helping children to identify where do they feel the feelings within their body, particularly when it comes again to those uncomfortable feelings, because our body is always giving us clues and signs to tell us how we feel. So maybe it is that some feelings might feel a little bit heavier within my body. Maybe it's a fizzy feeling. Maybe my muscles get really tight when I get angry, or perhaps my heart beats really fast because I feel scared or I feel nervous. But again, helping children to explore where they feel their feelings in their body is another way to help build their emotional awareness. And also looking at the words to describe the different feelings goes a very far way. So those are a couple of strategies that we can use to help children, particularly when it comes to some of those more trickier or uncomfortable feelings that are bound to arise during the school day. Something else that's also really useful is teaching children tools to help them self-soothe, particularly when it comes to some of those big feelings. So simple things like deep belly breaths, where we teach children to breathe into their belly, so filling their belly up with air and slowly blowing out through their mouth, is a really useful strategy. I'm a big fan of something called Take 5 because I find that this activity helps children to come back into their body, and it's also a tactile exercise and children can use this wherever they go. So Take 5 is where I get children to put up one palm of their hand, and with the other finger they simply trace, and as they trace up they breathe in and they breathe out, and they breathe in and they breathe out. And what this does is it lowers those feelings of stress, the cortisol within the body when we take those deep belly breaths. It sends a message to my brain that I'm safe, I am calm, but it's also something tactile and something that children can take with them wherever they go. So those are a couple of strategies to help children self-soothe. Another useful one is also to incorporate short bursts of movement or exercise throughout the day, which is also a really good way to kind of move our body, but in a safe way to lose the big feeling. And why not get creative with it and create something like a pizza PE session, where perhaps you associate different pizza ingredients with different actions. And when you call out the ingredient, children have to perform the actions related to that. So give that a go to bring some fun and playfulness into the day as well. Now, something else when it comes to helping children ease back to life at school is to allow opportunities for children to reconnect. Many of the children are obviously kind of be coming back into the classroom. It might feel a little bit strange to see their friends. So creating activities, opportunities where children are able to do something together to help them recognize that they are part of a whole or that they belong. So why not encourage children to think about what are particular strengths, skills, or attributes that they have that we can collectively bring together to the class as a whole. So creating almost like a power pizza display, and each ingredient represents a skill, a trait, or a characteristic from every child that together collectively makes this yummy, delicious pizza. And children can even carry on further with that and create their own pizza emblem for their class, so that every class in the school has their own specific type of pizza representing the different skills and characteristics of the pupils within that class. Fun, laughter, and play is also really important to reconsider, especially helping children to reconnect and re-establish those relationships with each other. Now, this can be done in a variety of ways, through games, through role play, but something that's really exciting to try out as well is singing and songs. And whilst we're on the pizza theme, why not get children to create their own song when it comes to pizza? Perhaps as a class creating a rap or some lyrics that they can use to chant and to sing along. Meal times are also an obvious, and many children I work with absolutely love school dinner times, and obviously pizza being one of the favorites of their menu choices. So in sure, let's make meal time something that's fun, that's something that children can look forward to, and perhaps even provide some conversation prompts that children can use with their peers to perhaps find out something about their friends that they didn't know before. So some suggestions might be, what are you grateful for today? What made you laugh today? Or what made you smile today? Or what do you know now that you perhaps didn't know yesterday? Or what's your favorite pizza topping? If you could come up with your own pizza design or pizza creation, what would that be? And this is just another way to help children to reconnect and to re-establish those relationships with others. And finally, also bearing in mind that we need to ease into this transition. Yes, structure and routines are all very, very important, but some children are going to be able to adopt to this really quickly, whereas others might need a little bit more time and patience. So also recognizing ourselves as educators and as teachers that perhaps we need to also remember to be gentle with ourselves as well, because we've gone through a lot of change in a short space of time. So perhaps also recognizing that adjusting to this new normal is going to take some time, and it might not always feel as comfortable as what we'd like. So I hope that these tips and strategies are helpful. Obviously, bear in mind that, this is not a quick fix. It's not a one size fits all. Some of these strategies might work in some situations, but not in other situations. But they all provide a good starting point that us as educators in schools and teachers ourselves can use and implement to ensure that our children feel safe, connected, they feel supported, and overall, that they are emotionally ready and able to learn again. So thank you so much for your time, and enjoy using these strategies. Thank you.